Hey up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So as you just heard from that little bit of an intro there, we're going to be talking about a new addition to the JJB YouTube channel alongside why I returned the GT86 back to stock. So since I've been running this YouTube channel, a couple of cars now, I've had the Golf R, I've had the GT86, and we've got a new addition to the JJB garage, the JJB mobile, whatever you want to call it. So there's a couple of reasons why I've done this. I explained some of them in my previous videos, but I will go through it in a bit further detail once I get inside of the car and talking about why I actually bought it and what else may be coming to this channel. For those of you that are on my social media, be it Instagram, Facebook, or even on LinkedIn, you may have noticed a couple of different hints and tips that I've been giving away that may have let you into what I've actually got. So I put posts up like this where I was comparing the Hyundai i30N to the BMW M140, and I've also, as you know, been driving a couple of other different BMWs over the last couple of months. Now also, people thought that I might have got a Toyota Supra, and although I wish I could have done, it was just a little bit out of my price range, and I did talk about a car which was just out of my price range again. That is a little bit different from what I've had before, which I'll talk about when we get into the car. I'm going to turn this camera around now, and hopefully you guys like the new addition. Please let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'm going to put a bit of a cinematic sort of thing up with some music just to introduce it. Then we're going to jump into the car, we're going to take a look around it, and we're going to talk about why I've bought this particular car. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the BMW M140i to the JJB YouTube channel. So there we have it guys, there's my BMW M140i. As you can see behind me, it's mineral grey with a coral red interior. It's a 2016 model with only 16,000 miles on it, which means it doesn't have the GPF. That means we get the bigger burbles, we get the bigger bangs, and also more noise on a day-to-day basis. My tripod is broke, hence why I'm holding the camera, but we're going to jump into the car, we're going to take you for a drive, and I'm going to tell you why I bought this particular car. Okay, so we're in the 140i. We're just going to try and get out of this car park. I've closed windows now because everywhere you go is windy due to the storm. But I was looking at quite a few different cars when I was getting this. I was looking at the 140i, the 135, the 235, the 240, the i30N, a pre-facelift M2, which I'll speak about shortly. And I think what drew me to this car is the fact it's got the ZF 8-speed automatic gearbox, which, by the way, is absolutely out of this world. Plus it's got the updated B58 engine, which, as we all know, is in the new Toyota Supra, and it's been seen doing 1,000 horsepower on stock internals, barring a couple of changes. But other than that, it's a very hardy engine. It can take a lot of power, it can take a lot of grunt, and it's very reliable. I didn't want to get a 135i, especially the pre-LCI ones, because I didn't like the steering wheel. I've had a pre-LCI 1 Series before and I didn't quite like it. I don't like the back of them, the sort of boot shape. And then I saw this one at Bradford. It has 16,000 miles on it. It's a 2016 on a 66 plate, and my private plates aren't quite on this yet. I'm just waiting for the V5 to come back. But as soon as they're done, I've got some new plates to go on. And it also was mineral grey, which is one of the top colours that I was looking for, alongside black and also orange. And it had the coral red interior, which I've never had red leather interior before. It really has a nice contrast between the grey and obviously the red in here. And I just think it looks nice. As I start to do more content with this car, you'll probably sit there thinking, oh well, it's bought a bog standard spec 140i. And yes, you know, it's not got the Pro Nav, it's not got the Harman Kardon, it's not got all the sort of bells and whistles as some of these do. But compared to the GT86, this thing's like a Rolls Royce. You know, I've got sat nav, I've got an armrest, which until you don't have one, you don't realise how much you miss it. I've got a good stereo system, I've got a good gearbox, the car's really comfortable, and then when you want to push on, it's an absolute monster. But anyway, before we get onto the road, what I need to do is actually go and pay my parking ticket, because I was about to drive out with forgetting, so I'll catch you guys in a minute or two. Why do they make car parks so narrow? I hate this, especially in a new car. Let's hope we get out of here in one piece. Oh, and I'm going back up again now, I've gone the wrong way. Oh my god. Right, we're up. And then we need to go back down again. Left again. Down again. Left again. If you're a fan of turning left, then I recommend this car park. Oh, right at the end, I think, the attendant's office. Go down. Whoa, whoa. And here we are. We're out. Safe, and it's raining, so I'm going to close the windows. Right, so finally we're on the move, and as you can see outside in front of me, it's raining, so I've got the auto wipers on, I need to turn my hazards off. But the reason why I went for this car, so the M140i is a car that I've always wanted. It's a car that I've always liked. I've always liked this M-Lite sort of style car, be that the 135, the 140, the 240, the 235. However, I've never been able to insure one. So insurance on one of these, up until very recently of course, has been around £2,000, £2,500. I was speaking with a friend of mine, Mike, about the insurance prices on these cars, and I did an insurance quote on an Audi R8 which came back at £2,000. I did an insurance quote on a 235i that came back at 2,300 quid, and it's always baffled me, it's always absolutely baffled me as to why these cars are so expensive to insure. So when I got my Golf R, I was insured by Brentaker, a fantastic company. Essentially, what they do is if you're adding modifications on that don't add power, they don't charge you for it. So the wheels, the sort of splitters, kits, vinyl, anything like that, don't actually charge you for it, and it's no additional on your premium. However, if you go for a remap like the JB4 and it adds, say, 40 brake horsepower, 50, 60, 70, then there's going to be a small increase. So I videoed the GT86 and taking the Mishimoto kit off, not last week but the week before, and just after that I was speaking to Ricky over at JCT, and they gave me a really good price on my GT86, and it was a couple of days after that when I put a deposit down on this car. So I picked this up last week, so that's a week before today, or 2 weeks before you see this video, and I was speaking to Brentaker and they said, look, we can insure the BMW, but it's going to be very expensive. So I was like, oh my god, this might not actually happen, I might have to get my deposit back. And they turned around to me and I had 3 months left on the policy, and they basically said for them 3 months it was going to cost just short of £400. So my GT86 was £800 for the year, they wanted an extra £400 for the extra 3 months. And I was left in a situation where I thought, oh my god, it's going to cost again £2,000 to insure. So I'd asked them and I just said, look, why is it so expensive? And they turned around and just said, look, if you haven't driven a rear wheel drive car, or the Golf R, or anything with, you know, significant power, then we wouldn't quote you on it. And I totted up 5 companies that wouldn't quote me on this car. So AXA, Aviva, Direct Line, Greenlight, Sky Insurance, and some of these are specialist ones as well, purely because of how much money is getting paid out for these cars. And I was doing a bit of a looking around, and I was trying my hardest to get insurance for this car, and it turned out Admiral, who I used to be insured with the Golf R, I did a multi-car with them and it came back at 800 quid, and they had no qualms about actually insuring it, which is good. So we got that sorted, and I was speaking with quite a few other people, and Michael at 4C Prestige, I just wanted to thank you as well, because you helped massively on the run up to it. So I was unsure about how it was going to change, how much it was going to cost, all the different options that are available. And if you're not the type of person that likes shopping for a car, go and have a chat with Michael, because they do a sourcing service where essentially all you need to do is tell them the car, they'll go up and down the UK, they'll find a car for you, they'll make sure it's right, they'll test drive it, they'll check it, they'll finance it at a really low rate, and then they'll come and deliver it to you. So fantastic service for that. But it just so happened that this car was in Bradford, which is only 10 minutes down the road from me, and it was a great car. It was grey, mineral grey, which, as I say, is one of the colours I wanted. It had the coral red interior, which again is one of the options that I wanted, and it has incredibly low miles for the age. So this was last MOT'd in September of 2019 with 16,400 miles on it. And we sit here now in the car and it's got 16,500 miles on it. So it's barely moved since that point. It's got the Michelin Pilot Super Sport tyres, which, although they are great, very horrible roundabout here, although the Michelins are a fantastic tyre, in the cold, in the wet, they're not the greatest. So just slide around a little bit. And I'm going to be doing a lot of content on this car. I just wanted to introduce it to the channel because I've been itching to do it. I've not had a chance to film, and when I do have a chance to film, as you can see around me, there's a storm, so it's not the greatest time. I can't put my foot down because it'll just slide everywhere. We did drive the M140i, which I'm going to compare to this car as well. Of course, that's quite fresh in my memory, and I'm going to tell you guys why I went for one of these over one of them. But as I say, there's going to be a lot of content on this car. I'm going to try to make as much as possible. I'm going to try and film as much as possible, because I know I've been guilty of doing things to my car and not filming it, whether that be because I'm not sure how to film it, or the difficulty of filming it, or purely because it's raining like it is now. Okay guys, so I've just pulled up to the side of the road because I don't feel entirely safe driving, and that's nothing on my part, but because there is rain, because there is a lot of wind, people are losing their minds. I nearly had a bus hit me, I nearly had another car hit me on the way here, so I've just pulled up at the side to wrap this video up and to get things sorted. Apologies if this video isn't as in-depth as what you would have wanted. It's not as in-depth as what I would have wanted, but I didn't want to stand in the car park and just sort of speak to you guys, because the sound acoustics isn't great, the lighting isn't great, and of course couldn't stand outside because I've been drenched wet through and all you'd hear was wind. I wanted to get this video out purely to let you guys know about the change on the channel, and just so I can tee up a couple more bits of content. If you do like this car and you do like the fact that I've made this move, drop a like down below. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to keep up to date with what I'm doing, and of course if you have any ideas about what you want me to do with this car, let me know down in the comments below and I'll keep a track of it all. If you want to see more pictures and more sort of content, go follow my Instagram down below. But thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys soon.